video is for the lesson 3.7 homework. We are looking at inequalities on the coordinate plane today. So number one, what is the name of a relationship with a constant rate of change represented by a solution set denoted by the graph of a line that may or may not be included in the solution and the set of points are above or below the line? This is a long definition. This is a linear inequality. All right, what is the name of a symbol represented by a dashed line with shading below the graph of the line? This is less than. All right, so all we're looking at today is what do the pictures look like, what do the symbols look like, all of that good stuff. So on your notes from yesterday, this page right here shows you everything. It gives you verbally the symbols, so symbolically, and graphically, what they look like. You need this page to be able to work these kinds of problems until you kind of get the hang of it. All right, so for the next four, we have to select, is it a solid or dashed line? And then if we shade below or above. So if your inequality sign has the line underneath it, it's a solid line. If the line is not underneath there, select number 5, it's a dashed line. All right, if y is less than, so the arrow, the inequality sign points at the y, you're going to shade below the line. And then if alligator's eating the y, if it opens up towards the y, you're going to shade above the line. So what all that means, the shading above and below, it looks like this when you actually graph it, something like this. It means any point that falls in this shaded area is a solution to that inequality. Any of those points could be an answer. So all we're doing today is what the lines look like, what kind of lines we would draw, what the graph, where we would shade. And then we're going to write the inequalities for the graph. So we're going to start off with, this one's actually not an easy one because there's no y-intercept. Normally the first thing we do is we find, oh, where does this line, cross the y-axis? This one doesn't do it, but there's another method we could use. We can pick two nice pretty points. So I'm going to pick this one here, and that is at -1, 0. And then this one here looks pretty good, and that one is at -2. So remember, the x comes first, -2, and then -3. So the easiest way to probably do this would be to pull points. And then what I can do linear regression on this. So in my calculator, I'm going to do the tables, the green table in the middle, put my x and my y. My x's are -1 and -2. Y's are 0 and -3. Menu 4, 1, 3. Change my x list to x, my y list to y. And here it gives me m is 3, b is 3. So that means I've got 3x plus 3. But this is an inequality, so I'm not done yet. We know a y is going to be over here. So again, you can look at those pictures on the notes from last night and match up. So I'm looking, this line is dashed, so I'm looking for a dashed line and then the shading over here. Here's a dashed line and the shading over here. You can match it up and that'll help you pick your symbol. So I need this sign, I need the greater than sign. Other ways you can go about it, since it's dashed, you know it's not going to have the line underneath it. Again, if it's above the line, this is considered above, then it's greater than. If you shade below the line, it's less than. All right, sometimes the y-intercept is there, but it's gross. So I can't really tell what the y-intercept is. So I got to pick two other points. So I'm going to pick this one here at 2, 1, 2, 1. Watch the scaling. And then this one here at 8, negative 3. And then I'm going to do linear regression on this. All right, so start fresh. Menu 4, 1, 3. Change the X list to X, the Y list to Y. All right, I got decimals. You know we don't like decimals here. So my slope is negative 0.6, and that 6 is repeating. My B is 2.3 repeating. So I need to change those. So negative 0.6 repeating, type a bunch of the number that repeats, menu 2, 2. So there's my slope, negative 2/3, and then 2.3, that's this one, bunch of 3's repeating, menu 2, 2. Y-intercept is 7/3. So I can write the back half of my equation. Slope first, then the y-intercept. All right, when I'm shading over here, I'm shading below the line. Again, if we kind of look, it's hard to tell on this one where you're shading. But this is below. The reason it's below is because all the numbers decrease, all the y values keep getting lower and lower and lower. Okay? So we know it's going to go this way. The line is solid, so our inequality sign gets the line underneath it. And then we put the y. So if the y values are decreasing this way as you go through the shading, it's a less than sign. If the y values are increasing, here they keep getting bigger and bigger, it's going to be the greater than symbol. So on these last two that I left you, we're going to pick out the points because I know picking out the points is hard. So we've got this first point here at 0, 0. And then we've got a good point here at 6. So remember the x comes first, 4. So there's two nice pretty points for that one. And then for 10, let's see, we got a good point here at negative 2, 6, and then a good point here at 6, 2. So those are good ordered pairs that you can use to do the linear regression with.